Okay, so here I'm just showing you the clay that's called Delight, and I'm reading to you that it's an air dry and that it dries 24 to 48 hours depending on the air, the temperature of the air, whether it's humid or not, that it's lightweight, it's easily moldable, and that you can do many things with it. It's a great product. It comes with the creative clay design, and it's a very, very light product. It feels marshmallowy, actually. So it's really good to work with. I'm just flattening out with my hands. You see how easy. You don't need a rolling pin. I have RA, and sometimes I have problems with my hands. I just grabbed whatever I had. I should have had my rolling pin just to get the flatter out. It would have went a little bit quicker for me. I grabbed whatever I had. I ended up using, as you'll see in a minute, my Sakura Crystal Lacquer 3D. Just to roll it out, just to get it a little bit more of the shape that I want. I want a very nature, organic kind of feel to the clay and to the end result, which is a plaque that I will hang above my door. So again, here I am, fun, just click, molding the Sculpey till I get to the shape that I want. And again, my hands, just using my hands. Plus, it's very therapeutic. It's very therapeutic and fun to use. And I love using this product with children because they can make their shapes a lot easier. It's not wet like paper clay is. Although paper clay I love, and I love it for many other things, this is just a great project. And you can use, I'm using one full package of the, the Delight for just the base. Here now, I'm using the Sakura 3D Crystal Lacquer just to give it another rollout. It's a little thick in the middle for me. And it just gives me a little bit of help. Like I said, you don't really need it. It depends on what kind of look you want. I want to spread this out a little bit because you will see as the video continues what I do. So I'm just rolling. Now I'm going to make a mold. So I'm about where I want it to be for my plaque itself. And you can see my video going in and out. You know the wall hangers that you can buy at the store. Art and craft store has it. You can get it at any Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever kind of store you have, is what I'm going to hang this up with. And that's why I really enjoy the Delight. Because I'm moving all over the place, my stuff gets a little fuzzy. Blurry. I sprayed, as you can see, I sprayed a little bit of water. Water works really well on this product as well as the Creative Paper Clay. But if you have divots or you have things that you want to just smooth out a little bit more, as you can see, I'm just trying to make it a little more organic, trying to get my fingerprints out of it a little bit, smooth it out a little bit. Just a spray of water works fantastically. So, I always have my water with me, whether I work with this or the Creative Paper Clay, because it is rewettable until it's cured, and that usually takes a few days, even though it's dry. And that's, that's a great thing about this. Like I said, for kids, this Delight is just delicious, because there's not a lot you can really do to mess it up. And they can put it in molds or make their own creatures or whatever they like to do. And you could cut this in half and make a wall hanging for yourself. You can use whatever kind of paint that you would like over it. So just hold on a second and we will get to the next part. I'm just smoothing out, getting ready to go on to my next thing. You see I keep rolling it over. Couple cats got on my table. I got a little cat hair, dog hair, what have you. Just pull it out. So one more second and we'll move on to the next step. Again, you don't need, like I said, it does not need to be perfect. It's like a pizza dough. Free-form, organic is fantastic. My dog's trying to get in. Okay. Apparently, I really enjoyed working with this because little water there helped the little holes kind of blend. I was turning over the corners thinking, oh, maybe I'll try this, and it didn't work. So just trying to get to a point here. And I'm telling you that I'm using a craft mat because it doesn't stick, and as you could see, I have turned it over like 4 times. So now I'm going to open up my next package of the Delight. And again, it's fantastic. It feels so good just to sit and roll it in your hands. I have these 2 molds. And I like it. One is, I believe one's like mums kind of. I want to say mums. And the other is butterflies, which of course I love butterflies. And how I put in molds, especially with this kind of clay, it's very easy. I put it in and then get it to the, to make sure it's in all the way. And then I just kind of like spread to the outside and kind of pull off where the mold isn't. And you will see in a few minutes when it sits for a few minutes. I didn't even let it dry all the way and I pulled it out. This clay is so fantastic. But I just kind of, smear it a little bit and make sure it's in all the edges to get the extra off. I don't like make myself nuts over, oh geez, I didn't measure it. It's too much. It's too little. You just add. And you see I'm pushing towards now where the butterfly is. I'm going to leave it sit there. And it'll just sit as I continue. And you see, you just form it. You know what the basic of the pattern is, so you just sit and form it. If you want the back a little flatter, spray a little bit of water on it. Just so when you adhere it, which you could adhere this now as it's wet, but I will wait until it's completely dry and either color it prior or after I glue it on because I really want it to be on there. And you can see with the little butterfly I'm being a little bit more cautious putting the stuff in because it's so little. And I want to make sure that the imprint gets in, so I push it, because I want the imprint to come out. So I'm just pushing and forming it around. I didn't put a lot of extra in that. And again, either way you choose to do it's great. But when it's little like that, I tend to try to make it little. Just do a little bit at a time and add. And I like to keep it a little bit thicker, you can see on the butterfly, because I want to have a place to glue. So when it's dry, if I want to glue it down, I'll use, whether I use the 3D crystal lacquer or whatever, I'll use it. Again, out of focus because I'm all over the place. Next, what we're going to do is the fun part. I have stamps. Those are kid stamps I got, I believe, at Michael's. You can get them at any arts or craft stores. And what I'm going to put is many blessings. So how I did this was, and you can use a ruler, piece of paper, whatever you choose to make as your guide. And so it's as straight as possible. I'm not really into perfect art or being a perfectionist. I know some people are. Not against that at all, but for me, I just like I enjoy creating and using these great products. So I have that. I got it where I want it, and I'm stamping it into the clay. Now, you can see the indentation. Once it's dry, we're going to do a whole fantastic process with it. However, you can use whatever stamps that you have. I have so many stamps, letter stamps. I chose this because of the plastic, and that way I didn't have to bore everybody with me taking the letter off and on. And you can see there's ink that goes in there from something that I had done prior, which is no big deal, because when you see the next step, once it's dry, you won't even know that's there. You can see I'm like matching up the ends of it so they kind of, you know, flow. And again, I didn't want to use my other stamps because you'd have to see me taking them off and on my, you know, my stamp, my what's it called, acrylic stamp thing. And I think that's boring. So, not that I won't do that in the future, but on this one I wanted to do this because I guess I spent so much time enjoying playing with the clay. And I'm showing you there how flexible that is. These are great. They were $1. I mean, that's how much they were to buy them. So you might even be able to find them at your dollar store. They're fantastic. They're fantastic for when you're doing, you know, quick things, or they're really cute. And I really like them. So then again, I'm deciding where I'm putting my B for my many blessings. And I'm just pushing it in and making indentations. And again, this clay, I do have it a little thicker in the middle, just for this reason, but it is fantastic. So we're just 1 second continuing to watch me. And once you have these pressed in, as you will see as we continue with the video, you will see that as I like push a few impressions in here and there, I might put my letters back in because I know where they go now. I know the stencil of them and how they go in and fit, just to push in a little deeper. Again, perfection is not a necessity. If you sit through life and art and you try to be perfect, you'll never be happy and you'll never enjoy it. That's my words of wisdom today. Enjoy it. And this Delight clay, I love. I am not going to lie. And I love my creative paper clay too, but I love this for a whole other reason. And I think even next month I'm gonna use this again because I have really good ideas for it. And it's lightweight when it dries, but it's so sturdy, so you don't have to worry like it's gonna break or anything. And what you can do with this. Now I'm saying here, okay, the S is gonna be at the end. Who cares? Such is life. But what I love about this and the clay in general, both clays, is that you can do any kind of finishing technique on it. Now, if you wanted to make this a faux wood, if you wanted to make it a mixed media piece once this part's dry, with, you know, and not put in the many blessings yet and just completely cover it with paper. I mean, you can use it in so many ways. Now, I see that my M was kind of not as deep as I wanted it for what I want to continue to do. So I just pushed it back in. And it went in perfectly. And like I said, the ink that came off apparently from the stamps isn't going to be a big deal once it's dry and once I have my next technique. So I'm telling you something. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm telling you that how I did it is you can see the bottoms where the letter ends with the little round circles, and that's how I knew how to place them and how much to keep them apart. Some people use a ruler. I'm showing you can use the end of a paintbrush to make different designs if you don't have many stamps or want to write something in and don't have stamps at all. You know, there's so many ways nowadays to use different items for different things. I'm just kind of trying to get my wood piece that I used. It left a few marks, so I'm just going to wet my finger and just kind of give it a little smear. You fix the clay a little bit so you don't see it as much. I don't really care because it's going to have so much texture that you're really not going to know. But there are a few parts that were bothering me, and apparently I kept wetting my finger, and you see how easy it works. And it just smooths out. Now you can stop here if you want. You can stop here, let it dry, do a technique, leave it like that, do whatever you want. Just paint it when it's done, whatever you want. Now I'm putting my end back in because I kind of messed it up when I was kind of clearing the few of the marks. So I'm just going back in and touching up where I want it to be deeper, where yeah. Okay, so there we are. Now that's the basic of my plaque. Now I'm going to take a couple stamps that I have. I'm going to take my dragonfly and my hummingbird. Who doesn't love a dragonfly and hummingbird? Okay, so my hummingbird I'm putting on my acrylic, and I wet it with a little bit of water, and just so it just doesn't stick, and I just set it there, and I just give it exact pressure all the way around. And you have a great impression there. Now I'm going to do, I believe I did a dragonfly. No, I did a ladybug, that's right. Same thing, wet it, pushed it in, exact pressure all around, make sure I got it, took it out. Look at that. Very excited. Actually, I had to edit it because I had to edit and do it like this because I loved working with this stuff, and I was I was a bit too excited and the video was a bit long. Now I'm seeing, do I want to add this organic kind of edge to it with rolled clay? And I put it on, and I'm kind of looking, and I'm kind of giving it a little mush. And then I say, nah, I don't like it. Now watch how easy it is to take it off. I'm really wanting to like it. Nah, we're not going to use that. I really do like like I said, that kind of, shape of the plaque itself. So we're going to pump the butterfly out. Now that's only been sitting there for a few minutes, and you already have a form. I try to take the baby one out, but I think he's going to have to dry all the way just because of the pieces being so small, so we just put him back in there. It didn't come out how I wanted it to come out, so we're gonna let that baby dry overnight. Yeah. So now I'm going to show you. I'm going to take some of the clay, roll it in a ball. I want to make sure you guys can see it, so I'm kind of, moving my camera. Sometimes I forget that when I look on the computer screen, you're completely opposite than me. So I do this the same way. I push it in. This has a lot of detail, so I want to make sure I get that detail. And I push it in, and I push out towards the end of the mold because, like I said, I want that really in there. And on this, you can see on this mold that the edges look like Reese's peanut butter cups in a sense when you're putting it on. So you really want to make sure that you get those filled in. And I leave, of course, a little thicker on the top because I will be gluing these down after I decide how I'm going to do my whole piece. Now I'm rolling it in a ball. I do a little I'm going to say a tiny bit of a point. I wouldn't even call it a point, but a little bit of a point to go into the middle. So when it goes down, it gets all the gets pushed down, it gets all the delicious texture that's in there, because there's a lot of good texture in there. And you see I'm just doing the same thing, making sure I get all those Reese's peanut butter points in there. Too bad I can't pull this clay out and eat it. It's not edible. Do not eat it. I just I associate things with food when I'm hungry. And I just took a little bit, and I'm going to put, see I'm showing you the little divot. I want to put a little bit more clay. If the camera clears up, because I'm all over the place. Instead of knitting in things, I should be spastic in things, I think. I get too excited about items that I love. And now that I figured out how to voice over and talk about things, yous are all in trouble. Okay, so again, delight into the molds and they will sit overnight. I'm showing you the butterfly. I'm just, you know, sometimes you get a little bit of that extra little bit of clay on the outside, wetting my finger. And I'm just kind of, you know, smushing them in, so to say, to get those little pieces in. Yeah, so it's nice and smooth, so it can dry hard and not have to, I don't have to really sand. You can sand though, however. And his little, I pushed his little boopy over, and I'm going to put probably wire or something in there, I'm telling you, as the antennas. Yep. And then I'm just showing you that's, I just want that a little bit more, you know, higher up a little bit so I can glue it on. Now I've disappeared, apparently. I'm going to spray this with a little bit of water. I don't want too much because I don't exactly know what I want, but I can always glue over if I find things, and I'm just doing a little bit of impressions. Just lightly putting them in there. Because I do want it to have, you know, I want it to have some shape and look, and now I realize that apparently I'm off the camera. There we go. And in that middle, I'll look for a stamp or something. I have an idea of what I might use for in that middle. Or I might leave it clean and just put something in there. I don't know yet. It's almost like you're decorating a cake, which is really fun. So I'm going to leave this dry. And in the next video, I'll come back and it'll be dry. And I'll show you my funness that I have, my funness for the words. It's going to be a blast.